Lazy but loving on. Hi, you pushy cat. Hi, you sweetie. It's your baby. So let me really quickly, because I promise I'm not going to spend my whole holiday on this. But charisma, someone that I know, see, it gets you, not get you, but it feels different when someone that you know is coming for you. So let me just say this, charisma, and especially because I can be confident that I'm going to be deactivating this page and moving on with my life very soon. So I'm going to finalize this real quick and say this. Charisma, you've always been ugly. You're one of those real where it's like you're not very pretty and people don't pay attention to you. And I don't want to sort of blame people for not being attractive or abuse my platform. But I gotta tag you fucking whore. Let's break this down. Have I always been a sex worker and someone who was taught by strong women to value myself and how to do sex work to survive safely? Have I always been a whore? Yes. Guilty. As charged. I think she said nasty whore. It looks like that was your regular darling. And if you're gonna throw the word nasty around, I've already blocked her, so somebody make sure she gets this, her little ugly troll looking ass. She ugly. Wait till I show you this little bitch. Mariah, you've never been real. I've always been a whore and you've never been real. And you've always been ugly. And you always been... Actually, let's really talk about this. When I'm 13, 14 years old, you used to bully me. And you better hope that the leaf that I've turned remains turned. Because I say it on this live on social media, we're not the same age, girl. And we both may be adults now. But let's put this into perspective. You were a bully. And you know what happens to bullies. You do. I mean, it's a classic trope in modern literature and media. When people see their bully, when they used to be bullied, what happens to that bully? So you better keep it cute, Miss Charisma. But nasty. Come here. Goose. Nasty? Well, if you liked Malik Yoba and that was your regular, you'll know one of the problems that the girls used to have with him is that he didn't like to use condoms. Again, this new leaf I've turned has brought me to the Capital Region to do consulting and advocacy through the Department of Health to try to benefit my community who needs it most, particularly where it comes to strategies and campaigns to keep people healthy on their medication or HIV negative. So I don't want anyone to think I'm blaming people for their behavior and their potential status. But the child sex abuse trade exists in many ways so that kinky men can get their kinks like unprotected sex. Charisma, if that was your regular, please gather him. Please tell social media, Charisma, how you used to have sex with a trick with no condom. Let me define sex too. I may have a sex change now, but I never let people put their mouth on me, even my boy parts, even my penis. I did not let people put their mouth on me without a condom. I didn't want syphilis or gonorrhea or chlamydia or herpes. So why don't you tell them, Charisma, who's really nasty? You were a whore way longer than I was. You were a prostitute when I was a baby. You were already prostituting yourself. Now I'm in the Capital Region also to try to potentially help decriminalize sex work. I don't think, Charisma, you're smart enough to understand this legal strategy. Let me try to break it down to you. As Sylvia Rivera's daughter, someone who knows the law, I'm sort of uniquely qualified to explain to all you whore haters or victim blamers why there's a choice conversation about child sex work happening right now. But there's also a choice conversation about decriminalizing sex work in the same year that we celebrate Stonewall. Police ran in Stonewall because the government tried to tell two adults or individual adults what they could do. Being gay was illegal. Two lesbians couldn't fuck. Gays couldn't fuck. Okay? That was illegal. That is the government telling people what to do. Telling trans people how to dress. Charisma, you not so smart person. Don't blame whores. The same reason that two porn stars can have sex and not be arrested. Due process, substantive due process, equal protection of the laws. The same way another case called Lawrence v. Texas made it so those cops that kicked in the door of those two gay men and charged them with an outdated law and that law was unconstitutional. Substantive due process, same across the United States. That's the reason why New York State, at the legislature house in Albany, close to where I live now, they're thinking about making sex work legal because it's legally the same as sexual orientation. The government cannot, or gender expression. The government cannot tell people how to choose who they have sex with, paying or not. They cannot discriminate versus on one group versus another. Individual prostitutes that don't want to license their material. Porn stars are prostitutes. Porn stars are prostitutes. They just license their material out. I'm a sex worker, prostitute, who chose not to license. I did a video or two, actually. But in general, I chose a different route, more discreet route. One that won't get in front of children. Individual sex workers who do sex work in discreet locations that are adults, that don't contribute to the child sex trade and exploitation of minors. We make society better. I started as someone that was exploited and abused, and now I'm leading the conversation about why, in my knowledge and experience after being raised by some of the best lawyers, I, as an adult sex worker who run an organization founded by sex workers, founded at an event that sparked the issue over what the government can tell to adults that are queer that they can do. That's why I'm going to bring you decrim of sex work. That's why STAR, Capital Region, all our folk, this is why we're going to bring you decrim of sex work. And if you're not smart enough to understand substantive due process, equal protection, the case Lawrence v. Texas, the history of Stonewall, feet from where your ugly ass used to work, charisma. If you don't get how my gay mother, your ugly ass would never get how my gay mother bust down doors for you. You know, the shade is, you ain't that old. You ain't that old. But you would have been the type to read Marsha. You were a nasty bitch when we were young. You were a nasty, nasty person. You still are. But you were the part of the reason that I sort of was like, this community, these people. So charisma. Just make sure you tell people that, you know, you didn't always use condoms. And that the definition of nasty, somebody wants to post a difference for the definition of nasty. Oh, charisma. I don't know who that is, but one of Charisma's friends have to be on this post. Hello, ugly. Somebody put a picture of Charisma on this post, please. I got some bad moments, too. Catch me in a bad angle. But Charisma's just ugly. Like, there's no picture of Charisma where you could look and be like, bitch, give me some charisma. You an ugly bitch. You are unattractive. You're mad because that's your client and you want to somehow be seen when it all comes down to it, you want to be on the post defending him. So maybe you're one of the last people he'll turn to for sex when he can't get it from nobody else. You can keep your dirty, not condom using trick from back in the day all to yourself. Don't nobody want him. Thanks. Yeah. So charisma. You're nasty.